T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Can you see my screen?
I see your screen, sir. I sees it.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Disclaimer time. Disclaimer time. Guess what? Guess what, folks? Today you're gonna learn from some diamonds, some rock stars, some people who are successful and know how to create success. But here's what we cannot do. We cannot guarantee how much money you're going to make. Why? Because can't guarantee what you're going to do. Today, Diamond, Tierra Edwards. Blue Diamond, Jackie Pippins. Blue Diamond, Jake Parton. Black Diamond, Desi Lipova are going to share with you guys some incredible success tips. And you're going to love it. I already know. I can see what the chat's going to do in advance. When I see in my crystal ball, I already know what's going to happen. I know you're going to take crazy notes. Some of you guys are going to get writer's cramp. Some of you guys are going to get full-fledged carpal tunnel syndrome taking some notes today. But the question isn't the notes. It's what you're going to do with the notes. Some of you guys are going to do a lot and make a lot. Some of you guys are going to do a little and make a little. And some are going to take those beautiful notes and do nothing at all and make what? Say it with me, absolutely nada. Which one of those three people are you? I don't know. Mark don't know either. You know who knows? The man or woman who looks back at you when you're brushing your teeth and flossing. That person in the mirror. You got to ask him. You got to ask her, and they'll tell you which one of those three you're going to be. And that's how you'll find out how much money you will make or not. That's our disclaimer. We're sticking to it. Now, a word from our sponsor.
Here we go. All right, Ibüümerang family. MK coming to you from the flight deck. Let's pull up the slides. Master the art of connection. Turn conversations into powerful partnerships with Black Diamond, Desi Lipova, Blue Diamond, Jackie Pippins, Blue Diamond, Jake Parton, and Diamond, Tierra Edwards. Stay connected with the WhatsApp community, iboomnation.com. Go there, fill out the information. On Telegram, search @Ibüümerang and click join. What do your October leaders want for their birthdays? We are fundraising for the BÜM Foundation, and every little bit helps the children. You can go to the boomfoundation.com or your back office, and we prefer your back office. Every little bit helps the children. What does master trader Shamim Agahi, Elevate Profit Coach, want for his birthday? BÜM Foundation donations. Chargebacks. If you charge back, you will be terminated. Again, you can go to iboomhub.com/downloads and download the multiple use credit card form. Do not give your funds to anyone for trading. Ibüümerang will not be held responsible for your loss of funds. Don't do it, folks. Cross-recruiting and switching teams, it's grounds for termination for both the switcher and the sponsor, and it's not allowed. This is your brick. You are a personal star achiever, 300 QV, dual team qualified, 1 left, 1 right, 10 Elevate customers, 1500 QV. That all adds up to 1800 PQV, personal qualifying volume. And you want everybody on your team to accomplish and maintain this. CEO Circle, 10 Elevate customers, and you can go to all events for free. However, you must be qualified for 3 months in advance. Again, CEO Corner, 25 Elevate customers, and you can go to all virtual and live events, including Elevate boot camps, for free, but you've got to be qualified for 3 months in advance. Rank Up. Who is using Rank Up? Everybody should be using Rank Up. Training call and recordings are now on iboomhub.com. The YouTube playlist is live, youtube.com/Ibüümerang. Right at the top. Ibüümerang rank up presentations by your top leaders. Log into rank up, click prospecting videos, grab the link and send it. However, you need to match up the prospect with the presenter. Again, Profit Snatchers testimonials now in rank up. Log into rank up, click prospecting videos, click Profit Snatcher testimonials, grab the link and send it. And again, you've got to match up the prospect with the presenter. Travel and Trade Corner, we like to call her D-Lo, Doris Lopez. It's Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Elevate Private Coaching Program, Deanna, Shameen, G Money. They will help you get to your trading goals. Trade Buddy Lounge, live trading with the best profit coaches. Trade Buddy subscription is required. And Donnie Pips DP is tearing it up in the Trade Buddy Lounge. Send us your Profit Snatcher wins and Trade Buddy video testimonials. Send your Elevate and Trade Buddy video testimonials to written profitsnatchers@elevate.com and videos, Elevate or Trade Buddy, tradebuddytestimonials.com. Profit Snatchers monthly schedule, Profit Snatchers America every first and third Wednesday of the month, and that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Profit Snatchers Europe every second and fourth Thursday of the month, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK time. Trade Buddy Elevate call, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Master trader Shameen Magahi will answer all your questions about Trade Buddy and utilize Trade Buddy to help you maximize your profits. This is the only call today, folks. MK coming to you from the flight deck. What's up, bro?
Hey, and we're back. All right, good job, man. Good job with the announcements. Appreciate you covering that. Absolutely, lots of squirrels in there. All right, so folks, ooh, look at you, man. Presto changeo. I literally sent Mark a note at 1 minute and 30 seconds to go live saying, you know what? Wild thought. Maybe we should be training the goal zone since it's tomorrow. And I said, don't worry about it. No biggie. And boom, there it is.
Yep.
Oh, folks, as we wrap up the blue zone today, right? The massive sponsoring zone. Now we start to get our mind ready for the goal zone, which actually, I'm sorry, starts on Monday. Tomorrow's the last day of the blue zone. So the goal zone starts on Monday, and let's get our minds right, because what we want to do as we now shift into our massive volume mindset, it'll be time to focus on the income producing activities. That means that as you close the month, in the last 10 days of the month, you're focused on only things that ring the cash register. That's what your goal is. Your goal is to drive the deal home. All right. So if it's time to close that customer, it's time to close that new business partner. And I say close, I say it loosely because I like the way Jake said it. He said, we're not closing, we're opening, right? We're opening up a new business. We're opening up new possibilities for a new business partner. Okay. Follow-up is everything. That's where the money is, folks, the follow-up. You know, one and done is never going to be what gets you to the top of the mountain. It's the follow-up, right? Because that's how people make decisions. All right. We're going to bam fam. You need to perfect the art of booking a meeting from a meeting, not letting it fall flat, not letting it die, not, okay, I'll get back to you, but scheduling something that keeps the person in your process, right? I mean, you guys have seen the internet marketing from so many different people. You know, it's so hard to tell them no, because when you tell them no, they're like, okay, and then they give you something else, and then they give you something else, and they give you something else, because they understand that they understand what it takes for us to make decisions, right? And I think we all understand that until it's us that is doing the marketing. So I want to challenge you guys to perfect the art of booking a meeting from a meeting. Also, you want to be incredibly organized. You want to have a good system that you follow, like Rank Up, that will allow you to keep track of everybody that you have given a presentation to and commit to the system, because then that's going to help you with your follow-up. Because in the last 10 days of the month in the goal zone, you want to be diligent about identifying the people who've seen a presentation but have not decided. That's your focus. They've seen a presentation, they haven't decided. Okay. Also, you want to take a look at who joined your business at the lower levels, who came in with an affiliate pack, who came in with an executive pack, and now it's time to help them see why they need to upgrade to CEO pack. All right. Depth charging is also very, very effective during the gold zone, because now you're going to leverage the power of the dual team and placement, right? You're going to encourage people, hey, listen, you get started today, then the folks who get started after that are going to be underneath you, right? You want to make sure you develop the art of helping people to understand these things. And you should have team members, all your team members that you're working with, they should have a game plan for the month. And you should be helping your team get to their target ranks for the month, right? So that's how you want to do it. And if you're focused, if you're diligent, if you surrender to this process, you can literally do 3 to 4 times the volume in the last 10 days of the month that you've done in the first 20 days of the month. That is proven fact and truth. I've seen it happen in my businesses. And so I want to challenge you guys to do the same. Get ready for the goal zone, folks. Here it comes. All right.
Good to go?
That's it. We're good to go.
Yeah. All right. Trade Buddy, the week of 10/14 through 10/18, October 14th through the 18th. 9 trades for gold, 7 wins, max pips, 745. The win rate was 78%. If you would have traded one lot, it would have been $7,450. GJ, 9 trades, 7 wins, max pips, 353. 78%. And if you would have traded one standard lot, it would have been $2,192.13. 13 cents. Okay. 1 open trade. UCAD, 7 trades, 7 wins, 0 losses, a 278 max pips, 100% win rate. And if you would have traded one standard lot, it would have been $2,034.96. And we still have 1 open trade running. 25 trades, 21 wins, 84% win rate, max pips, 1,376 pips.
Wow. Trade Buddy is on it. I mean, look at that win rate. It's insane. 25 trades, 21 wins. That's powerful. Hey, you guys, screenshot this. You want to build your business? Screenshot this. And let's get this on your story. Let's get this on your page, right? Now, remember to be compliant as you post these, right? You know, sometimes what happens is people want to make things bigger than they are. And Mr. Bugs has always taught us that the truth is good enough, right? So you put this up there and make sure that you say, hey, listen, number 1, identify yourself as an independent ambassador. And number 2 is to say, hey, look, you know, trade, you know, everybody's responsible for the risk factors, risk management of their own trades. But this is what Trade Buddy gave us, right?
David Romero, Buddylicious.
Black Diamond doesn't know. They don't know what that means. They don't know what compliant means. I know they don't know what compliant means, does he? Because I'm at it all day with folks that's not compliant. Oh my God. But we're gonna teach you. That's gonna be a future flight school where we walk through what it means and how to be compliant in your posts. how you can make a post and not cross the line. So we'll show you how to do that.
Okay. All right. Boom gear sale. What's up?
I got my boom gear. You got your boom gear?
Yes, I got my boom gear.
Awesome. Boom gear is where it's at. E-Dubs, Emerald, Elliot Ward in the UK. He said he's got his today. That is absolutely fantastic. The leaders leading with the boom.
Tier Edwards got his flight plan calendar.
Yep, he said it's coming. PDDG, he said he's raiding the store. Well, then there's not going to be anything left. He's going to use that presidential diamond wallet and clean us out. All right, excellent. Let's rock and roll. Get your boom gear while you can. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to bring the peeps on. We're going to bring them on in order. Here we go. It is that time. We're going to start with our diamond, Mr. Swole Brother himself. This is an incredible guy. T.R. Edwards, what's up, bro? How you doing? It's a gun show today.
Man, I'm fantastic, brother. I'm happy to be on here today.
Hey, man, you need to move to Texas where guns are legal.
Hey, that's what is taking place right now.
Yeah, love your boom gear. Look, he's boom geared out. Got his Elevate t-shirt on. You got the bling with the 8. I love it. I love that. That's one of my favorites. Mine does not fit like that. I'm gonna have to go do some more push-ups right now. And you got his Elevate cap. That's what I'm talking about. You, my friend, are on my protection detail.
Yeah.
All right. We have from hot Atlanta, Georgia, the queen herself, none other than Blue Diamond, Jackie Pippes. What's up, J Pill? Oh my God, come on here looking glorious. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning to you. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning.
Look at that smile. It's like sunshine. Yes. All right, let's go over to the UK, to the man himself, none other than, oh man, I forgot him. Dog it. I'm gonna run downstairs and get him in a minute. Jake,
what's up?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Oh my God.
I'm fantastic, brother. How are you?
You know what? I'm not as cool as you.
I think it's because you're like a pretender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm a pretender. I'm a poser. I'm a wannabe partner.
what you say? What was that?
I said I'm a wannabe Jake Parton.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for this flight school. 100%.
Yeah, so good to see you, brother. So good to see you, man. Awesome. And let's go to the DMV, to the Queen, Black Diamond, Desi Lipova. What's up, Desi? Where you at? And Desi.
Oh, dude.
No?
Yep. Make co-host.
You
You didn't make her co-host.
You didn't make her co-host. You the host. You the host with the most. Maybe not the most. Maybe like 95% right now. There we go. What's up, Desi? How you doing? You good?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Awesome. Glad to see you made it through those early morning computer woes. You've been tested. You've been tried, but you have overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the camera.
Everything. Just totally floss worthy. I love it. All right, folks, we got our panel today, and our topic is how to like have conversations that result in powerful partnerships. And so you guys are the experts at this, and I know my spy told me that you guys even had a meeting to talk about what you're going to talk about. So I already know you guys have a plan. So I'm just like fade back a little bit. And how did you guys want to kick this off? Is there something in particular you want to talk about?
We'll just get it started, I guess.
All right. So here we go. So the thing that makes our business work is people,
Mhm.
right? No people, no business, right? And sometimes you have people say, I've run out of people to talk to. And the truth of the matter is we all teach them, well, you can never run out of prospects if you're always meeting new people, but that's a challenge for folks how to do it. But you guys have perfected the art of it. So how do you do that? How do you go about that in live situations? How do you do it on social media? How do you guys do this that is so effective?
Who wants to start first?
Please all
Ladies
go at
first.
once.
Ladies first.
I'm Jackie, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so it's so many ways. Oh my goodness. Whatever situation that you're in, you can make it about your business without making it about your business, right? So, for an example, there was a big storm here in Atlanta, right? The hurricane, whoever was here last. So there was a big tree that fell in my yard, right? And we had to come and my tree fell in the yard. It was like seconds away from hitting my husband's car. But anyway, so we had to call someone out, get an estimate, and remove the tree, right? So that happened. 2 seconds later, I saw in the neighborhood app, there was a lady said, "Hey, there's a tree that fell in my yard. Do anybody know anybody that can remove my tree?" Right? So I immediately messaged her. I said, "Hey, I know someone called me," right? So she called me. She said, "Hey," and she was explaining to me what happened. Then I explained to her what happened. I said, this gentleman is very reasonable. You should use him." So she said, "Oh my God, thank you so much. We should do lunch together." I was like, "Oh yes, we should do lunch together," right? So we made an appointment to do lunch together. That was just from a tree falling in the yard, right? And of course, when we go to lunch, I'm gonna get to know her, and she's gonna get to know me. Real simple as that. I turned that crazy situation into something positive, right? So, in that Tigray and Mark, that's because I always keep my business on my mind, right? So the other day I was at Kroger, and this real tall gentleman was in my presence, right? What y'all think I said to him, right? "Sir, you play basketball?" And then he said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Oh, who you play for?" Oh, I didn't play for a professional team, but I played college." "Oh, I bet you were good." He said, "Yeah, I did a little something." "Where you from?" And he told me. I said, "Well, what brought you to Atlanta?" "Oh, I own a restaurant over there. You see that restaurant? You see that little restaurant? It was a smoothie place." I said, "Oh, I never saw that. Listen, I'm going to support you, right? I'm going to make it sure I go over there and support you." He said, "Oh, I really appreciate that." So we exchanged names, right? We exchanged numbers. So guess what? I went and I supported him and I bought. So the next time I go in there, I'm gonna make that connection. I didn't drill my business on him then. I built a relationship with him first. Now I don't always do that, but yeah, it just depends on the energy of the individual, how that conversation comes off. So you can always turn it into about your business without making it about your business.
That is very true. I love what Mrs. Jackie said. I do everything just like Mrs. Jackie said. It's like, how do you talk about I am the business? I'll give you this. Okay. When I started with my clothing brand, obviously all I was doing is walking around in my clothes, right? I wouldn't be buying from anybody else. I needed to become the billboard of my business. So it's the same thing when it comes down to what we do here. I have somebody that started with me last week, and we were doing three-way calls, we were doing Zoom calls, and I post, you guys know that you've seen me post on my social media. I like people to know, hey, I'm doing something big. And guess what? That brings me more people because they're seeing that I'm consistent. Every single day I'm doing something new. My days are new, brand new, right? So every single day I'm working with different people, and people get they get curious. What is it? What type of calls are these? Who are you talking about? I'm leveraging my new leaders, my new and upcoming leaders. So, one thing that I wanted to share with you before I go into how I talk to people, because there is not one way that you actually talk to people. I love what Mrs. Jackie said. It's like you're building a relationship. Darren says all the time, when you meet your significant other, right? I mean, you're meeting somebody that you actually like, maybe you went out on a date or whatever. You don't take that person right then and there straight to the altar and marry them, and you don't do that, do you? So it's the same thing. You get to know them first to see if you actually want to go out on a second date, right? You don't even know if they're crazy. You never know, right? So it is the same thing. Tigray, did you want to say something?
No, I'm laughing. I think that's funny.
But that is the truth. I feel like we're overthinking it. It's not about the business. It's about what middle ground can you find with that person, and be genuinely interested in what they're actually doing. So going back to what I was saying, what you guys are doing, even if you're brand new, you are afraid, maybe ashamed of sharing your business. And I personally will never get that, because you own a business, and the first thing that you do when you open up a business, you want to do a launch, right? You want to let the world know what you're going to do. Your business needs people, period, point blank, right? There is no business. It don't matter what it is. Mrs. Jackie said that the gentleman had a smoothie shop. Guess what he did? He opened up the business. He did a launch. He invited his entire network to let them know, I have a healthy food spot here for you. Next time you want to go buy something, buy from me, right? So this is what we do. And that person will let the next person know, and that person will let the next person know. So that person said, I don't want to, until I make it, I don't want you to post me. I said, well, you will never make it, period, point blank, because you're not utilizing the system. People seeing you on my stories, well, and obviously we have mutual friends. They'll be like, okay, well, if she joined her, maybe I should finally look into what they're doing, right? But obviously, again, we're going back from people acting from the old self-image, not the new self-image. So going back to how I get connected with people. Well, I do different things. I connect with everybody. Like, I will not prejudge an individual. Everywhere I walk in, like a grocery store, like, let's say, I was gonna say a hookah store. You guys know I like hookah. I get everybody's numbers, right? If I go to the restaurant, if I don't go much a lot, but like wherever I go, I make sure that I connect with people. I make sure I take their number. I make sure I take their Instagram. Why? Sometimes if somebody does not respond on my text message, I have them on my Instagram. And most people here in the States do utilize Instagram. If they don't have Instagram, I take their Facebook. My Instagram, brings me a lot of people. A lot. Like, I no longer have to do cold messaging, because I am, my I wouldn't say my main focus, but like, I've built some type of, network, which I'm expanding it. But, here in my area, I am, I'm catching a lot of attention, because when I met an individual, first of all, the fact that I'm out there on a Monday through Friday, for example, where most people are working a job, individuals are like, what do you do? Why are you out here in the shop? Because most people are in the office, right? Mm-hmm. So guess what? They get interested in you, because they're like, okay, well, I got to be in the office, but you're here in the shop. Whatever it is that you're doing, it looks interesting. So I would not go up to Tigray and say, hey, Tigray. Well, I don't know Tigray, but let's say I'm walking up to, I see Tigray standing right there at a coffee shop, and he's got nice shoes. Tigray always has nice shoes, right? I'll be like, I like your shoes. Where'd you get them from? Oh, maybe I can get those shoes from my husband, right? So I will make a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I may say a line like this. So if it's a gentleman, ladies, right? For them to know that there's nothing behind me liking that man's shoes.
Right.
Right.
That was good. That was good. That's what, it's actually the first time I've heard. I mean, obviously we've taught that so many times, but that's the first time I've heard one of our ladies train that and how it goes the opposite way. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, because I do, I do get this question all the time, and I'm, I personally, I think in my 4 years in this industry, I've probably gotten one time, a gentleman, just like not get, because I am friendly, so I talk to everybody. I have men and women in my organization. I haven't limited myself to just talking to women. I bring everybody. I have more male people that want to lead versus women for right now. So, I wouldn't limit myself, and it's the same thing for you ladies. I mean, obviously, if you want to build a mixed organization, right? That's up to you. But that's the first line that I'm going to say. And then I'm, the conversation usually starts very easily. Hey, what brings you here? Oh, I'm just enjoying my time and getting some work done. What do you do for work? I'm glad that you asked. Actually, I gotta get on a call. I don't really go into deep conversation when I meet somebody at the very beginning. If it's a quick meetup, like let's say I met him at the coffee shop, right? I will act. I may not have a call. I'm not lying. I will have a call eventually, right? I'm just calling it out there. I'm putting it out there to the universe. The call's coming, but if I don't have a call in this moment and I don't want to explain what I'm doing, I'll say, hey, let's connect. I've got my own business. Let's connect. Oh, what type of business you doing? I'm glad that you asked. I got to jump on a call right now, but here's my number. Take my number. Do you have Instagram? Maybe we can hop on a Zoom call, or maybe we can meet, if you're here in the area, maybe we can meet on another time where we can sit down and I can explain to you what I do and how it may potentially help you as well. That is one way, right? I get people from everywhere. If I go out, like not out, but let's say I go out Friday night, I decided I'm going to go out, hang out. There's a spot here that I really like. It was a great spot summertime because I've recruited plenty of people from that spot, right? Mrs. Jackie knows what I'm talking about. And it's a bar. So it's a bar inside the water. And there's the area is really nice. So it's it's good people, right? So there's people coming and going all the time. So, there's people that I've recruited, I've connected with them that same day, and then I bring them in the business tomorrow. Or there's people that are now still in my pipeline that are watching what I'm doing. I even shared the other day with, my team, somebody that actually, like you guys say, ghosted me, right? He reached out to me and said, hey, when is your next webinar? So I continue on living my life and continue on running my business. I didn't care about the fact that he ghosted me or didn't respond to me. I mean, people have lives at the end of the day. But the reason why I take their Instagram as well is because I am going to promote. I mean, this is a free platform. I don't have to spend money to promote my business. But people are watching what you're doing. And especially when you pique their interest, it's like you're the news for them. What is she up to? What is he up to? Where is she next? Where's he next? Right? Because people are constantly asking me, hey, where are you traveling next? Right? Where are you traveling next? So, don't be ashamed, because you're not ashamed of posting your dogs. You're not ashamed of posting your kids, right? That is the first thing that you do. And you will never be able to grow your business if you don't start promoting. But just don't be a weirdo. What is a weirdo? A weirdo is, I'm with Ibüümerang and Elevate. It's the best company. And I'm not saying that it's not the best company, but I want you to go to Mr. Holtenbug's, the CEO of our company. Look at his profile. If you don't see the head of that body not doing something, why would you do it?
Right.
Right? Why would you do it? And then go to your leaders or whoever you're following, whoever you like, look at their profile. if you're building online, if you're building in person, it's the same thing. Because I mean, they both go hand in hand, because in person will become online, especially like if you travel, you go to Houston, you go to let's say Atlanta, whatever, you're meeting people all the time. Like Mrs. Jackie was telling me that she has an event. So guess what I did? I went back to my contacts to see who can I send to Mrs. Jackie's event. Because I have them on Instagram. Instagram is a platform that I personally like for myself. Like, I don't know about you guys, what's your preference, but I'm just living in my life and I get to create new connections around it. That's it. I'm sorry. I believe I took too long.
You dropped some big bombs, but I think the rest of the folks have some things to add. That was really good stuff. Very, very, very good stuff.
Yep.
Gentlemen.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I would say when it comes down to, I mean, the main topic of discussion is building relationships. And when it comes down to building relationships, let's just break down the word relationships. How are you relating to that other person? And you really got to think, okay, so if I'm meeting new people, right? Of course, we all know that we're in business, but at the end of the day, we're building a partnership eventually. So when it comes down to it, how can I relate with this person? How am I going to be able to relate to them? Well, number one, I got to ask questions. I got to be interested in them, right? So all I simply do and how I essentially attracted Jake and everybody else is I just ask questions. I'll be interested in them. Hey, I see that you're in X, Y, and Z, right? You might be at the gym. I see that you work out. I see you got some guns, right? I'm giving people compliments for them to feel good, but not only that, to make me feel good too. Right? Because certain words trigger certain thoughts. And so whenever I'm connected with new people, I'm always wanting to make them feel comfortable with connecting with me. Right. So number two, when it comes down to, relating with people, find a genuine interest in them. You got to find it, just be genuine. Like some people, already have it automatically in them, but I'm giving you this is me. Right. I got that yellow personality. If y'all know y'all personality traits. So that's just me. Right. I have empathy for other individuals, but at the same time, I know where I'm going. I know the type of person I am. I like to have fun. Right. And so what I do is I sit down with these. I don't sit down with them, but whenever I'm out or I'm doing my thing, I make sure that, hey, I'm going to give this person a compliment. Right. And after that compliment, it's going to lead me into doing what? Introducing myself. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I had so many people that ask me, how do I talk to people? I'm pretty sure all the leaders how do I talk to people? Well, I mean, you're already doing it. Right. So all you got to do is introduce yourself. Don't, like what Dusty just said, don't be a weirdo. Right. You got to introduce yourself. Then after you introduce yourself, ask questions that you can relate to that individual. If you see a person likes a certain brand, hey, where did you get that brand? Where did you get that certain product or service from? Right? Relate with them. 4, family, opportunity. I mean, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, or motivation. Ask those questions based upon those ideas and those topics. Right? And after you understand what emotionally moves them, meaning their occupation or their dreams, now you got a positive and a negative. Hey, what you do for work? Man, I work at so-and-so. Okay, you must make a lot of money there. No, not really. What I just do? I just found a problem without me even really intentionally finding a problem. Then what I do? Boom, I go right into, okay, well, cool. What do you do for fun? Why? Because I don't want to keep talking about the negative. Keyword, I don't want to keep talking about the negative. So therefore, when I go from the negative side, all right, let me switch it up and go from, hey, what are some things that you are looking forward to or that you have fun doing? Why? Because I'm a blue. I want to have some fun. I like working out. I like going out, to certain places, enjoying ourselves, listening to some music, right? Maybe be like T Gray and smoke on some some cigars or something, right? Because again, I'm trying to find what? A common unity. relatability, right? And so therefore, okay, let's talk about these dreams. What are some things that you're excited about doing, but you may not have the opportunity or may not know how to do it? Oh, well, you know, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but you know, this is what's kind of holding me back. Okay, cool. Well, hey, look, man, it sounds like we relate. Um, what let's put it like this. Let's connect at a later time, man. I won't be in the area that long. Depending on where you are, you just, again, you find a way to connect with them. And here's what I say in order for me to get their numbers, because I know a lot of people are still kind of leery about getting people's numbers. Hey, let's connect. Hey, let's connect. Hey, let's stay in touch. Is it best to connect with you via, you know, social media or, you know, through cell phone? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not giving you options based upon, you know, what I don't want. No, I'm giving you options based upon what I do want. I want either your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, your X, whatever you want to call it, or I'm going to get your phone number, which one ever you're feeling comfortable with. And then once I get those, you know, get that connection, I'm going bam, fam. I'm going to book a meeting from a meeting. But again, the initial conversation and building the relationship is not involved, or it doesn't focus around the business, right? It's always coming to a common unity, coming to, you know, some type of, you know, relative part where we can come together and we relate. Why? Because people can't relate to your success, but they can relate to your frustrations and your failures. That was huge for me. I couldn't relate to, you know, Mr. Bugs and, you know, his success, but I could relate to his struggles when, in regards to him getting started in his business and never making a lot of money. I can relate to his, you know, beginning stages. So people can relate to yours too. You got to start from somewhere. But that's essentially my foundation of building relationships initially.
Awesome. Awesome. That's strong. Yeah, a lot of strong stuff in there. And if I can just kind of just throw in, you know, you talked about, you know, how to get the phone number. And I love the way you said it. I mean, that's a very today expression. Let's connect. Let's connect. So, I mean, folks, just add that to your repertoire. Let's connect. Let's stay in touch. And then, and Thierry, here's my little trick to that. Here's my number. Let me give you my number. Shoot me a text right now.
Like,
you take my number, give me and shoot me a text, and then that way we'll be connected. And boom, it's done. It's absolutely done. And you know, here's the thing: that is the goal of the conversation. I think one of the reasons, you know, like listening to Jackie and listening to Desi and listening to you, one of the common things is that the goal of the conversation is not to recruit somebody in that moment. The goal of the conversation is not to give them a presentation or even a teaser in that moment. The goal of that conversation is make a friend, get a connection, whether that's a phone number, Instagram, or you know, social media connection or whatever. That is the 100% goal. And if you shift your mind to that, the whole idea of meeting people gets real easy. Let's go to Jake.
Yo, yes. Amazing information. So, you know, when I started this business, guys, I was terrible at speaking to people. Dan would say I'm very, very awkward, socially awkward, anxiety, low confidence. But I still got results. And Tia will tell you, I've never struggled to recruit. And what I want to share with people is this. The first thing I believe it all starts with is a goal. I think you have to have a goal. What do you want to achieve this month? How many customers do you want to get? How many transactions do you want to, how many sales do you want to make? How many business partners? I think it all starts with a goal, personally, because I think without the goal, you're not going to have the confidence. There's a quote, obviously, the bigger the why, the easier the how. You're not going to have the confidence. You're not going to have the energy. I think that's very, very important. You know, when I have a goal, God literally talks to me. Genuinely. Like I can't even walk past a person. I'll get that little, if I see like a sharp individual, you just, you know, God's like, you should talk to that person. Whereas if I don't have a goal, God, he doesn't really talk to me about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think it's important to tell your reticular activating system, hey, listen, here's what I want to achieve. First of all, I think everyone needs to have a goal. So think about, I mean, we've got what, 11, 12 days left of this month. I would set a goal. How many people do you want to personally sponsor this month? Don't worry about if it's going to work out. Just think about how you'd like to feel when you've achieved this goal. Holton Book says we don't get what we want, we get what we picture. And I think if you don't have a goal, you're constantly looking at obstacles, you're constantly looking at problems, you're looking at all the reasons why you can't do X, Y, Z. So I think focus on the goal, number one. Second thing is, do you have a plan for you? Like, for example, I wrote down a few things here. You know, methods of exposure. Do you know when the next event's going to be? You know, I've personally sponsored a couple of people here local to me, and as of next week, we're doing hotel events. So a couple of times a week. Just having that event booked in, it gives you a reason and a bit of excitement to talk to new people and actually invite them out to take a look at what's about to happen. So everything Desi just shared, Jackie and Tia just shared, that's all perfect. But essentially, you already know how to talk to people. You've all invited people to go and watch movies. You've all invited people to go and watch to come and eat at your favorite restaurant. You've invited people to listen to your favorite album. So you know what to do. It's not the what that you're struggling with. It's the why.
Mm-hmm.
It's the where. Where are we going? Like where are we inviting these people? Where there's no vision, the people perish. So I would, home events, hotel events, okay. Zoom events. Do you know what Zoom events are coming up? Are you going to be hosting your own Zoom events? Do you have have you dug the ditches? Have you planned out your week? Have you planned out your success? Like I've got a calendar here, a month at a glance calendar, my whole month's already planned out. So if I talk to a new person, I'm like, I've got a whole menu. I mean, I've got so many calls and events booked in for them to take a look at. It's incredible. I'm not stuttering. I'm not thinking. I'm not umming and ahhing. And I'm actually excited. I'm ready to meet someone new because I'm ready. So do you have a plan for you? That's my second thing. The third thing is, do you have a plan for them? So do you know what the goal is? Like we just talked about, the goal is not to recruit them. The goal is to invite them. The goal is to pique interest and invite them. Do you know what your role is on a live presentation? Are you sharing your screen? Are you firing up the comments in the chat? Are you edifying your speaker? Are you telling them to share their camera, take notes on the call? Have you set up the Zoom link? If it's a Zoom event, have you set up the Zoom link for straight after to jump on a call with them and let them know that's actually the main call? Like obviously we're going to have the event, take a look at the information, but I'm really excited to hear your feedback after. This is the main one that you need to jump on after the presentation because I'm really looking forward to hearing your feedback. So do you have a plan for them? Do you know how to close people? Do you know, for example, these are all things to talk about, and you want to get with your mentor, whoever you're running with, and make sure you're on the same page. Like for example, do you have that like so if let's say someone watches the presentation and you're relatively new, so you don't know all the answers, right? And don't forget, your new people, they're looking at you like, do I want to be doing what you're doing? So when you're like this like encyclopedia of network marketing or Ibüümerang, that's actually putting them off. If you know all the answers, even me to this day, I'm like, if this person's got that many questions, now obviously you get better over time. But if today, if there's like, I'm actually introducing someone to Darren tomorrow, my mentor tomorrow, because he had a lot of questions, and I'm like, I could answer them, but I want him to see that when he gets started, he can literally just move himself out the way and use the system. So do you know what the method of operation is once you get a person exposed? Because I believe we self-sabotage and we don't get people on calls or we don't get them to events because we don't know what to do when they get to the event. We don't know how to handle it. But if you have a plan in mind, like a flow chart, if they say this, you're going to go here. If they say this, you're going to go there. Right? Like really map this out. And it's going to take time to practice this. The three-way call, right? Obviously make sure you're in communication with your sponsor, your mentor. If it's in person, obviously it's a lot easier because they're actually right there with you. Then I would, if they don't get started there and then, bam, fam, hey, listen, thank you so much for your time. If they can't even, maybe there's some people that don't have time after the event. Perfect. We have another one tomorrow. You can maybe jump on that. But have multiple different methods of exposure ready mentally. Okay. Next one. Do you have a like a major event booked in with your group? If not, I would suggest getting one of those booked in. Don't wait for the company. Okay, the company's job is not to do that. It's our job to build the company. It's not the company's job to build you. So we have an event in the UK on the 2nd of November. And I'm excited to bring people there. I'm excited to invite people. This is all part of it. You don't have to be good at speaking to people. Your energy is going to build the business more than the strategy. Does this make sense? So I'm already thinking I'm going to take this person dual team qualified. The second they get started, I'm like, we know as business partners, this is the business owners meeting, right? Flight School. We know as business partners that the goal is to get 100 names out of them, book 4 meetings and get them booked onto the next event. We ain't got to tell them all of that. We ain't got to fully puke on them. What we can do is we can make it sound a little bit more attractive and say, look, really quick, obviously we're going to go over the game plan, but just off the top of your head right now, do you know anyone right now that you'd love to bring with you on this journey? I want to tap into them. I want to get them dual team qualified ASAP. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the roadmap. So number 1, I've got a goal. Number 2, I've got a plan for me. I know what I'm going to be doing with or without them. And number 3, I've got a plan laid out for them. And I think if you get all those combined with what Jackie said, what Desi said, what Tier said, like that's the magic. Well, that's what I believe.
Bro, you dropped some bombs today. You dropped some bombs. I took a whole bunch of notes and a lot of things that you said, just really resonated with me. And I want to make sure that the people got all of that. One of the things that you said, like right out of the gate, you was like, have a goal. And it was a very interesting way that Jake shared that, everybody, because he said that when you have a goal, when he has a goal, he said God speaks to him. So God, the universe, your subconscious, whichever one you want to give credit to, is going to prompt you to take the action that you set as a goal. I think about that. You guys watching my social media, I'm walking every day, right? Every day, and I post it every day, right? And it's funny because I can tell you right now, 7, 8 out of 10 days, I don't want to do it. But because I set a goal to walk every day, when that alarm goes off, I start to hear that voice that Jake is talking about. It says, hey, right, you're going to miss a day. Right? How you're going to explain that to yourself? How you going to explain that to the people? Right? So you set yourself up to make a decisive goal. And one way to do that is what Jake said. Think about how you're going to feel when you achieve the goal. Right? Don't think about the activity. Think about how it's going to make you feel. So I thought that was powerful. You talked about having a plan, making sure you know what's next, all that kind of stuff. And bro, this was so deep. You said it's not the what that people are struggling with. It's the why and the where, right? So maybe you're struggling with this, not because you have a hard time talking to people, but because you're just not prepared. And what Jake said is when you're prepared, then that struggle goes away. You said something that was also really big. I want to make sure people get this. He said, people are looking at you to see if they like what you're doing. And you know what you made me think about when you said that? You made me think about Tom Sawyer. How many of you guys know the story of Tom Sawyer? Right? From Mark Twain. Tom Sawyer, right? So Tom Sawyer, he was given the job of whitewashing, painting the fence, right? And he didn't really want to do it. He'd rather be out playing, but he had to paint the fence before he could go play. And then all his buddies came and they saw him painting the fence. And you know what he did? He shifted in his mind and he made it look like fun. And then he told them, he said, you know what, not anybody can do this. It takes a special skill to do this. And next thing you know, they all wanted to paint the fence. And he held out the intrigue. He kept making it look like it was fun. He made it attractive, like Diamond Tier just said in the chat. And then you know what happened next? They all wanted to paint the fence, so they painted the fence for him. Right? So the key is like Jake said, don't self-sabotage yourself. Make it look like fun. Everything that you do, make it look like fun. If you overdo it, it's not gonna work. And then the last thing I want to comment on it, you said you don't have to puke all over them and give them the details of the plan. You know the plan, and Mr. Bugs keeps telling us this. He says, the plan is for you. If you tell them every step of the plan, they will run. Just think about if you start with a personal trainer. Right? A personal trainer says, what are your goals? Okay, well, I want to change my body composition. I want to build muscle. I want to lose weight, whatever. And instantly that personal trainer is putting together a plan in their head for what she or he is going to do to take you from where you are to your goal. And I promise you with every fiber of my being that if they told you every step of the plan up front, you would never come back. My trainer never would tell me what we were going to do. I would ask him, I'm like, what are we doing tomorrow? He goes, oh, no, we're going to have a great time. Because if he told me what we were going to do, I promise you I wasn't coming, right? So sometimes what happens is you got to hold back and just take a person through, walk them through. They will respect your authority, your leadership, and get where you need to go. I think you guys totally crushed this. Let me ask you this. I want to throw this question out there to you guys. Okay, go ahead, Desi, you first.
Yeah, so he says something very profound that a lot of people, especially when you get started, want to be the expert and answer all of the questions, right? And I believe that we have to kind of like touch base a little bit on that when he said, hey, and Jake is one of the top leaders of the company. He said, I have a conversation tomorrow with a prospect and I'm bringing our presidential diamond, Mr. Darren Gibson, to the call. Not because I cannot answer all of the questions, but because I want them to see what the system is.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, individuals that get started, and we're actually, explaining that to you at the very beginning, right? This is the first thing that we share with you. And yet you still fail to deliver. You still want to be the expert. And, I tell people all the time, Tigray, when I started with Darren 4 years ago, actually, at the end of this month, 29th of this month, 10 days, it's going to be exactly 4 years. When I realized I don't have to be the expert, and that literally took all of my stress away, and I started winning immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I let Darren do the heavy lifting. That's like, Tigray, you talked about your trainer. That's like you doing the workout, but the trainer is lifting the weight. It's even better than going to the gym, because at the gym you gotta do the weight lifting. The trainer is just helping you out, but this is essentially what we're doing here. We're lifting the weights for you. All you gotta do is just watch what we do, right? Watch what we do. Make sure that you don't interrupt us when we're doing the three-way calls. I had this conversation with somebody this week. They cut me in the middle of the conversation, and I was like, we're not doing that. If you want to do it your way, keep doing it your way. I'm just gonna move myself out of the way and focus on everybody else that's ready to be coachable. But, Jake, maybe you can talk a little bit about it, because that is key to what we do.
Yeah, I mean, like, you just covered it. It's a duplicatable business. And I think once that clicks for people, that's where momentum's going to kick in. The second you start, the second you start being the person that wants to know all the answers, you're gonna start the growth in your business essentially. It's a very simple business. We just have to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stay focused.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a come.
Okay, so I think that's very, very powerful. Desi, you've taken us in a really good direction.
I have a
You know,
question, Greg, before we go in corporate, because I do see that with, and I've never worked corporate, never worked government job, so I cannot relate, but I see the programming. Is this something that, you know, obviously people are afraid to ask for help and they want to do it all by themselves? I mean, your background is corporate. You used to work at, you know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay.
There's a, yeah, I mean, nobody knows, you know, in corporate, when you get hired on a new job, you're not an expert in that job when you first start. You know, it's especially not in how they do what you're going to be doing at that company. And that's why they have an onboarding process. And that's why you have a team. And I will tell you, there's people who need to do everything themselves very rarely succeed. People who don't know how to ask for help very rarely succeed. So you don't want to be that person. Um, and this kind of ties to what I was about to say, Desi, because Mr. Bugs always says this. He says, if you want to become truly successful, become an expert in people. Become an expert in people. And so becoming an expert in people, let me give you an example of how that applies in this situation of you not demonstrating that you have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
One of people's delay tactics, one of the reasons why people procrastinate, or one of the reasons why people won't get moving, is because they feel like they don't have all the answers. Right? So if you know that about people, then what you need to do is show them that, no, you can succeed in this business, you can rock in this business without knowing all the answers. If when they start asking questions, if you have all the answers, then you are now confirming to them that in order to be successful, I have to have all the answers. So I can't get started before I have all the answers. But if you do what Jake is doing, saying, he says, let me bring on Darren, let me bring you my expert. And they're like, well, hold on a second, this guy's a blue diamond, but he still has somebody else answering the questions. Now they can see visually an example, a real live example of, I don't have to have all the answers. I just have to have my team that can help me.
Yeah, it's the paradigm shift, isn't it? It's you know, it's the employee entrepreneur mindset, because employees, they're programmed, you know, they have to know everything. You know, salespeople, that's why salespeople don't necessarily do too well in this industry, because they have to know everything about the product to sell it. Whereas like I look at who created the product and the service itself, who actually created it. You know, are they winning? You know, do they understand people and business? I got to Blue Diamond before placing a trade. So what I'm saying, and because I saw people using, you must be a trader then. You know, you must be a trader. I'm like, no. It's like I buy my dog Lucky some dog food from the lady. If I walked into the pet shop and she was eating the dog food, I probably wouldn't buy from her, because that's weird, right? She's too much of the product from the product, right? So like, is there a need for what we do? Is there one person who has used Elevate to make money? That's it. That's all I need to know. Is there one person that's made money from the business? That's all I need to know. If one person could do it, so can you. So what we have to get good at, Holton Bug said to me last night on a call. He said we have to spend 80% of our conversation in the pit with people. And what he means is, you know, actually getting to know, like, for example, I actually went for a coffee with a new business partner recently, and I just asked him some questions about him, you know, where he's at right now in life, you know, what's going on, how long have you worked there, why is it that you're looking for more, are you inspired by the people that you're working with, are you aware that if you keep doing what you are doing and what they're doing, you are going to be, I mean, what, you're 47, he's 47, I think he's actually on the line right now, you're 47, that means you've potentially got under the 15, 20 years of work in there. Now, if you don't change, I'm not being negative, but I'm just laying some facts right now. I'm being your friend. If you don't change something, nothing's going to change. So obviously you got a wife, right? Yeah, I mean, you got a daughter. What's her name? Amazing. What sort of lifestyle are you wanting to create for them? Now let me ask you a question, because he tried to interrupt me a few times. Yeah, but I'm not a people person. I'm not good on social media. I'm not good at technology. I don't like people, right? And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's cool. And I shared stories of, I've got someone, Ruby leader, Mr. Danny Turner. I never forget when I first met Danny. He was like, if I've got to do videos on social media, I'm not doing it. Now we can't get him to stop doing social media videos because I said to him, I said, look, you'll be amazed that when you are in the right environment, how you start to create new neural pathways and start to think a little bit differently. But the point I'm trying to make is because I spent so much time talking about him and where he's at, and then showed him a new vision, asked him what he wanted. I said, look, here's what I recommend doing. Getting a ticket for the next event. Do you know what? He got a ticket immediately. Because what I've learned is that when you find out where a person's at, you find out where they want to go, and you be there for them and say, listen, we're going to work together and get you there. The how, it doesn't matter. The price, it doesn't matter. Does that make sense, guys? So like, be genuine. Like people say, oh, Jake, I got this person on the call. They said it's a scam, but I wanted to send them the link, just to show them. I'm like, first of all, like, this is a partnership, relationship, leadership business, guys. Like, you have to be jumping on Zooms with people and talking to them and finding out, learning about how to sell people. I would rather bring in, genuinely, think about it. And option A, guys, let me know in the chat, what would you prefer? Option A, you enroll 2 people that trust you, you get on with them, you know what they want, and they trust you enough to actually bring in 100 to 200 of their network into your organization because of the relationship that you've built with them. So you bring in 2 of those people, or you bring in 20 people that you've had to like sell, right? And then negative Nancy sour Steves, and they're skeptical. Which one would you prefer, the 2 or the 20? Do you know the 20 is actually going to be a lot more work as well? And it's different, because what I'm trying to say is, guys, this business is not just about putting in the reps. It's not about just doing the work. You actually have to become someone that leaders are attracted to, that leaders want to build a network with. Does that make sense? So that right now is where I'm really focusing on. That's what Jim Rohn said, work more on you than you do your business. That's where I'm really focusing on right now. It's someone said today, how can I mature up on my social media? So first of all, you need to think about who you're talking to in your social media.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking to minions?
Mm.
Are you talking to are you trying to prove people wrong? Are you trying to get people in that want to make £20 a week? Or are you talking like the language of leaders?
Mm.
What do leaders want to hear? What do influential people want to hear? Like, start asking these questions, and I promise you, ask and you'll receive. God's going to give you the picture, change the picture. The picture changes the behavior. This is where I'm focused on right now. Honestly, you get to the point where your goal won't even allow you to do certain things.
You know what I love about what you're sharing is you've clearly studied, and I want to encourage everybody to do this. Studied the art of what makes you attractive to people, what will draw people to you, right? So there's some intention. Jake, I can tell you this, brother. Met you when you first joined the business, and your evolution is very, very evident. It is very clear that you have been your number one project, and you've evolved into this person that everybody wants to be around and people want to follow. But that, my friends, is not an accident. That is intentional. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny. I watched a video the other day, because that's what I do when I'm walking. That's what I do when I'm walking, folks. I'm watching videos, I'm really listening to them on YouTube. And I've built up just this beast of a watch list. Anytime I see a video, I specifically look for videos that will help me improve parts of myself that need improving. And then, of course, the algorithm suggests more. And when I see the ones that okay, yeah, that's good medicine. I save it in my watch list. So I always have a repository of stuff to watch while I'm walking. I watched a video the other day of a number of, it was like something like 7 or 8 things that make you unattractive to people. And Desi, you mentioned this earlier, right? You said you talked about people interrupting their expert, right? And folks, as you are starting these conversations with people, you want to learn and develop the art of active listening, because one of the things that makes you unattractive is interrupting people when they're speaking, right? And we all do it from time to time. We get so excited, we got to get it out. But just understand that every time you do that, you lose points with not only the person you're listening to, but if you're in a group, you lose points with the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was just one thing that I just grabbed from what you shared. Let me ask you guys a question. I want to throw this out there. What is the power and the value of consistency? Travell Smith put in the chat the other a little while ago. I have people who are starting to watch me because I'm showing up and posting consistently. What is the power and role of consistency in developing your business?
It's
I
huge.
think for me, it just builds credibility. Like, one, you're confident enough to go out there and do it every single day. And when you do it every single day, number one, that just builds more and more trust with other people. And so, for example, when we first got started, I'm not the most, social media person, but when it comes down to it, if I have to have a conversation with new people every single day, I'm going to make it happen. Right? Why? Because number one, I have a goal. But number two, the more and more people see me and they see, like what you were just talking about with Jake, his evolution, more and more people are going to find that attractive, and they're going to want to buy into whatever you have. Right? So again, whatever you see every single day is what you're going to be every day, and they see themselves being another version of you. They might see that discipline. They might see, your growth, and they want to participate in that journey and, be along, be with you. Right? So again, all you're doing is, like what Nora just said, planting seeds. And just because, somebody said no today doesn't mean that somebody's going to say no tomorrow. But you've already planted seeds from days ago that somebody's saying, hey, I want to partner with you. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, it looks nice. That's how I got connected with Mr. Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him, 4:30 in the morning posting, the Bible scriptures and going to the gym again, because I'm going to the gym every single morning. I saw him doing that unconsciously, but then I started being conscious of what he was doing. I'm like, hold on, who is this dude?
And you saw his Lamborghini.
Yeah, and I saw the Lamborghini.
That
But
helps.
it just came down to, who was this dude? Because of course I didn't see him in his Lamborghini right away. I saw his consistent actions and efforts, which caught my attention after I saw the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini was just a cherry on top. But again, when you are in alignment with people, you're going to attract to them, period, point blank.
I think
And
it's I think it's when you're in alignment with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you follow you? Be honest. Would you go and look yourself in the mirror? Go and look yourself in the mirror. Physically, attitude-wise, the way you communicate, the way you talk, the way you smell, the way you shake hands, the way you smile. Would you be excited to meet you? If you sent you a message, would you be like, yo, who's this? Like, I watch my story modes every day, and I'm like, I watch my story mode more than anyone else's, and I'm like, man, you've had a great day, man. You're a good lad. You're a good guy. Like, do you think you're a good guy? A good person, sorry. Do you think you're a good person? I think that's all that matters. I think if you know your intentions. I heard Elliot say something yesterday on a call on his story mode, and I was like, wow. He said, the reason why I can speak like this to you all, and he's talking to his group. He says, because I know how much I sacrifice and I want you all to win and how much I do for you all. And I think that was so powerful because I'm like, that's really all that matters. Like,
Yep.
It's how much are you doing? Are you waking up before everyone else wakes up? Are you reading the books when you don't want to read the books? Are you working out and pushing yourself when to the level that most people don't? Are you reaching out to people? Are you genuinely seeing people succeed? in your mind before they even are? Like when you meet someone, are you seeing them happy, healthy, and wealthy? Are you seeing the best version of them? Like, I don't see someone from where they're at. I see them for what they could be. The only reason is because I'm doing that for myself. Holton said, if you can't get yourself out the pit, you can't help anyone else get out the pit.
Facts.
You got to be able to change your own vibration, your own frequency. And when you get good at that, you attract people on you attract people on that, you attract the right people. You repel the wrong people, but you also attract the right people. You become a little bit like Marmite. You know what I mean? So I think it's self-honesty. Like, go and look yourself in the mirror. Are you excited to shake your own hand? Are you excited to meet you? I think, and I think once you tap into that, it becomes a lot more effective, the work that you are doing. Does that help?
I love it. I love all of it. I love all of it. And Ms. Jackie, let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on this whole concept of consistency?
Okay. Consistency is very important. It wins every time, because I want you to think about this. If you're in the business one day and you're out the business, no one wants to follow you. No one wants to follow you. We know when you're in your business and when you're not. You cannot be in one day and out the next, and then I'm back. And then I'm back in. No, nobody wants to follow you. Again, nobody wants to follow a parked car. Who's going to follow a parked car? Absolutely no one, right? Vita, I contacted her years and years ago about my business, and she never ever, she never said yes, until finally one day she saw how consistent I was on social media. She started seeing the progress, and she finally reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I see you still doing that business, girl. It's about time that we partner together," right? So we partnered together, and we've been partners ever since, because she saw how consistent I was. I wasn't weary about my business. I wasn't, I wasn't company hopping. I wasn't doing any of that. I was very, very consistent. And somebody wants to see how consistent you are. And Tigra, I also there's two things I wanted to say. You guys were saying so much. One of the things Jake said was, when you have a Zoom, everybody has a role to play in that Zoom, whether you're the presenter or not, right? Okay, it's 10 o'clock at night. I got to go put some darn makeup on, look real nice to present this opportunity for your people. I look out and see rags on, people smoking, people just doing it. You just messed the entire presentation up. You have a role to play on that Zoom, whether you presenting or not. You should be paying attention, taking notes, act like you're interested. If you're not, you have a role to play in that. You got to be consistent with that as well. Turn your darn camera off if you're going to act like that on a live Zoom, because you just messed somebody else guest up. It took them forever to get that guest on that Zoom, and you messed it up because you wasn't doing that part. So that was very important, Jake. And also, what I wanted to say.
You're sharing your feelings today.
Right. Also, what I wanted to say was, there's some people just still afraid to talk to people, no matter what we're saying here today. It's easier for some of us. It's easier for myself. It's easy for Desi and the rest, right? But there's ways that you can draw people to you as well. All right. So for an example, t-shirts, right? Somebody might have a t-shirt on. Read their t-shirts. Why y'all think people wear a t-shirt and words on it? They weren't it for somebody else to see it. So you could say, "Oh my God, I like your t-shirt." What does that mean? When I have a t-shirt on, somebody always say something to me. "Oh my God, what does that mean? What does 4X mean?" So that's a way that you can draw people to you. T-Gray, you're going to laugh at this, right? So last Sunday, Dallas Cowboys lost, right?
They sure did.
But the next day, I had my Dallas Cowboy gear on, right? And I went to the grocery store, right? And as I was coming out the grocery store, this guy said, "You have the nerve to wear that," right? So that was a conversation. And we laughed about it. And you know what I did? Man, let's connect. We got to connect, right? So I drew. Every time I wear my gear out for Dallas Cowboys, somebody is going to say, because that's the American team. So somebody's going to say something to you about that gear. So that's a way of drawing people to you, right? I have a car magnet, right? And I go all around Atlanta or wherever in my car. That's how Deanna came to the table, you guys, from my car magnet. I'm drawing people to me. You might be afraid to say something to people, but there's ways to draw people to you, right? Expos, right? You can go get a table, a vendor booth, and get the little list where you get everybody's name that come to your table, right? Drawing people to you. That leads to you. So there's several ways that you can draw people to you. Pop-up shops. Listen, whatever city you in right now, go on Facebook, put in pop-up shops in Atlanta, in Minnesota, in Detroit, wherever you are, those shops are going to pop up. Go to those places. There's a lot of people coming in and out. You can meet those people. So there's different ways that you can draw people to you guys. And the last thing I will say, I got a little bit creative here. I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own group outside of the company. It has nothing to do with the company. I'm drawing people in my group. And guess what? The goal is. Y'all know what the goal is. They don't know what the goal is, but I know what the end goal is. We only been on my group call 2 weeks. Already we got 2 brand new people from that group. I'm drawing people to me. So there's more ways to build this business than one. It's so many different ways, but you just got to keep your business on your mind, or as they say, mind your business. And I mind my business.
Right.
Boom,
Miss
light
Jackie,
drops, bombs popping, fireworks going off. Oh my God, where did pass the collection plate? We need to support Pastor Jackie. What was that, Desi?
I want to say something because Mrs. Jackie said Desi likes. No, I don't. Just for everybody here on the line, I want you to know I am, if you really get to know me, right? Because there's very few people that really, really, really know me. Very few people. I am not an extrovert. I'm actually very introverted. Very. Me talking to people, that's like having this little remote right here, turning it on, and really like swallowing my feelings, right? To a place where it still hurts, like even until today, but I know what gets me the results. So I never really liked talking to people. Just being honest with you guys, my brother is a social butterfly, and I was always very jealous of how he could do it with such an ease. Yeah. So it's for everybody here on the line that says, I can't talk to people, I don't know how to talk to people, you just got to do it. That's it. You just have to do it. Just like maybe you've been eating junk food your entire life, and all of a sudden your doctor told you got to switch your diet, and now you got to implement, healthy food and workout, and it sucks in the beginning, right? Because you don't like broccoli, you don't like asparagus, you don't like plain chicken and fish. It does, right? But essentially will give you the results that you wanna create. So that's it. But yeah, I really
my people dropping bombs today. Oh, I'm just
Yeah,
so
I'm
excited
gonna
about
touch
you
on-
guys.
I'm gonna touch on that in regards to the creative part, because like what Desi said, I'm not the social butterfly, But again, I like to have fun, and so you gotta be competitive in certain aspects. Me and Darren will go to, you know, the hotel that's right around the corner from his spot. Go talk to that person. All right, cool. Go talk to to whoever's over there, and we'll see who gets the most numbers. Of course, I had to beat him up the other day, but hey, it is what it is. But even back in the day when I first started in sales, right? My background was in sales, and I hated talking to people, like literally. But what I had to do was, in order for me to get out of that mind frame and mindset, was number one, I know that I'm here to earn income, but number two, I'm also here to help other people. So when it comes down to it, what did we have? We had guest passes. I called them free memberships, right? So if you think about iGo, you can give people a free membership. Be creative with what you have. What I used to do was, hey, you look like you trying to lose some weight, and me, I'm bold enough to say that to certain people. But hey, you look like you're trying to lose some weight, right? Probably not that way, but you get what I'm saying, right? But it just comes down to at that point, hey, I got a free membership for you. Come check it out, and we'll go from there. But that helped me build confidence in going out there and talking to people, like what Miss Jackie was saying. You're drawing people to you, right? And your personality, you should have a pleasing personality where people want to come and talk to you. How you address, like how you dress will address other people before they dress you. So it just comes down to, you got to make sure that you look the part, and people are going to talk to you, period, point blank. But you can't be scared to talk to people. Otherwise, guess what? Your pocket's going to be creeping.
So Thierry, you're saying I can't be walking in my pajamas and
No, I ain't never met a millionaire in his pajamas.
I gotta
You got to look the part. You got to look clean. You got to look sharp. You got to look
what do you
like
say?
you are somebody.
What did you say?
You got to look the part. You got to look sharp. You got to look like.
Though, a lot of people, and let's just be honest, that's their norm. And because they haven't been out of their norm, in their mind, they look apart. That's just the truth.
Yeah, and they look broke.
You know what? Y'all are overloading this. Oh my God, I can't take it. I mean,
Grace, like, we gotta shut down.
I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, okay, so another thought that you guys just gave me is, like, on the whole concept of looking the part, is learn to walk properly. Right? Like Jake said earlier, would you be excited to meet you? Right? And that's a lot of that is about you inside and what's inside you showing out. What Desi and Tierra are talking about right now is definitely your outward packaging. Like, I know you were just running to Walmart real quick to grab something, but what do you look like when you walk out the door? Right? So Perez said on Facebook, she said, smell good and chew some gum. But here's another thing. How do you walk? Are you hunched over? Do you walk like the world is standing on your shoulders and you're beaten up and downtrodden? Or have you learned to walk with your head held high and your shoulders back and your butt tucked in? Right? Do you have a duck butt, your butt sticking all out? No, I mean, seriously, guys, practice this. Right? Pull it in, stand tall, and walk just a little bit faster. Walk with some confidence. If you take a look at confident, successful people, they even walk different. And all of that, when you walk into a room, you look good, you smell good, your insides are good, which is coming out through your pores, and you're walking strong. People say, who is that? I promise you, I've been in a club, a lounge, restaurant, a lounge and a restaurant with Black Blue Diamond Jackie. And everybody wants to know who she is. Like, it's like she said, she comes to every Zoom. She never shows up halfway done. Right? We always got to compliment her when she comes on, because she always just looks amazing. Right? So that's how that. Would you be excited to meet you? Thank you for that, Jake.
I got a text from Holton Bugs before I jumped on this flight school, because I asked him a question.
Okay.
and I just want to play the first like maybe just 2 minutes of it, and it's because it's on topic. Because I asked him, like I said to him, you know, building locally, how would you kind of position trading, travel? How would you pique people's interest? What would be like your long elevator pitch, sort of short elevator pitch? Just sort of wanted to get his perception of it, and he texted back. So hope you can hear it. Can you hear this?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, I think one of the most important things is being able to identify who your market is, who your cold market is, what's the climate in your. And as I talked about yesterday, you have to reach people where their pain points are, and reach people and spend 80% of the time with them in the pit. And that means that you've got to be able to communicate in a very quick fashion, be able to ascertain where they really are without asking them. But you can talk and people will actually tell you where they are. When I'm meeting people, working out, whatever they may be, you know, it's just the questions that you're going to ask. It's not necessarily your pitch. I don't want you to think that your pitch is what's going to be there, because the pitch only lasts for a second. And when they get out of your presence, if you haven't connected with them, they'll forget about your pitch, and they'll psychologically refrain from wanting to know anything more about what you're going to try to pitch them. And so the core connection that you build with them about what it is that you do without including them is what's going to be most important. So if I'm meeting you and you're telling me, hey, listen, you know, I'm a physical trainer, I do this, blah, 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 whatever that may be, great. How's that industry going for you? You know, I'm sure it's absolutely booming for you, Jake. And then Jake tells me, no, man, not really. So let me ask you a question, Jake. Did the pandemic really affect you a lot? How's that, you know, how's the business, you know, how did it affect you? What were some of the things that you had to adjust? And you see, just in that, even though your 3-foot rule, I'm still getting down at a peak with you. How did that affect you? What things did you have to adjust? Did your wife have to work? You know, how does she feel about that? Wow. Oh, okay. No, I understand it. What are some of the things that you're doing to rebound? Yeah. And then you start talking to me, telling me about what you're doing to rebound, blah, 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 whatever it is. I am now vested into your story. I haven't said anything about me, nothing whatsoever. And when the coast is clear and we're having some conversation, whatever that may be, and Jake, let me ask you a question. What would life look like if you had just clients coming out of the woodwork and you had more clients than you can actually handle? Would you look at expanding, getting a gym, or what would that look like for you? You know, have you looked at being able to duplicate your process and being able to train other physical trainers and being able to make money off of all the leads that you'd be getting? It's questions like that, because now I am the solutions person. I'm not trying to force my business on you. I'm not going to talk to you about Forex when I meet you. That's absurd. It's completely absurd for me to mention anything about Forex, because now I'm not talking to you about your 80%. I'm over here trying to sell an idea or trying to sell.
There you go.
You know, if I had another mic, I'd drop this one. I mean, that was some strong, but that's why he's the GOAT, right? That's why Mr. Bugs is the GOAT, because you can hear the art in what he just shared. You can tell that he's an expert in people. Like, even the way he asked the question, he goes, oh, you're a physical trainer. I'm sure that your business must be booming. He doesn't tell people, oh, that business isn't making money. He tells them, hey, I'm sure your business must be booming. And he lets them say, well, no, it could be better.
Yeah, he's like providing value, saying, you know, what would you do if you got clients coming out of your ears, you know, because you've got like a duplicatable process. Would you expand? Now he's finding, do you have plans? If you had more money, would you want your own gym? Would you want your... So he's finding out, and then obviously it's actually a 6-minute voice note. So he goes on to say, like, you know, if there was a way for you to achieve that outside your current industry, would you be open to take a look? So yeah, HB is the GOAT.
That is strong. All right, well, you know what? Here's what's happening, guys. I'm monitoring the chats. People are coming up with questions. We cannot finish this today. We can't finish it today. So, for example, Rabina Patterson asked, what is the best way to gain people's trust with how we can help them? Danny Turner asked, when starting the newest person and following Mr. Bug's system, asking for 100 names can scare some people. How do you navigate this part of the HB system without scaring them away? So Perez asked, do you have any stories to share when you started talking to people? Have you ever had to walk away from somebody because you messed up the intro? Have you gotten upset with the prospect, got up and walked away, or hung up on them? She must be from New York. Any practice experience you may share that were negative, but you kept going and now you're more comfortable? Any advice on how to keep moving forward, even though you made some mistakes? So these questions are starting to come out of the woodworks. Let me just ask the people, do you want us to continue this next week? You want who wants a part 2 of this next week? Anybody? All right. Well, listen, folks, the people have spoken. You guys can let me know after this if you're available next week to continue this. Anybody who's not available, we'll just recruit another one of our diamonds to step in and continue. But we gotta keep this going because you guys dropped bombs and provided such incredible value. And we just really want to thank you for sharing. Let's do this. Let's have parting shots. Let's start with our diamond Tierre Edwards. Then we're going to go to blue diamond Jackie Pippins. Then we're going to go to blue diamond Jake Parton. And then we're going to have last words from black diamond Desi Lipova. Then we're going to take our picture.
Absolutely, man. Well, I mean, guys, I want to keep it simple. I look at building relationships kind of like the doctor's office. And when you start having that relationship with people where you being the nurse, meaning you're trying to take care of them, you're asking questions, that's going to lead them to essentially them being open to share with you exactly what's going on in their life, what Mr. Bugs was just explaining or demonstrating to you. You know, you be the nurse, you know, let the system do what it's told to do. And all you have to do is lead your people to the expert, which is the doctor. Don't interrupt the doctor. Matter of fact, you're not even in the room when the doctor is talking. So just guide them and lead them to a point where they have an opportunity to get a solution to the problem. Hands down, anytime you're building relationships, you have to find how you can relate to them. And then you also share, you know, how you can get out of the how they can get out of the situation by sharing your story and connecting with somebody that can actually help them get there. Get yourself out of the way and just really go from there. Build genuine relationships by being genuinely interested in other people. Miss Jackie?
Awesome. This was really, really great. There was some great nuggets shared on here today. So if you take what everybody said, you definitely can grow you and you can grow your business. Always remain consistent no matter what you're doing, you know, whether you're doing this or whether you're doing something else. Just be consistent in what you're doing. Keep your business on your mind. Mind your own business. You want to be successful, you need to do these things, these tips that we're giving. Go get you a mentor. Listen to your mentor. Do the things that they're telling you what to do. Get your coach, get your mentor, get, you know, whatever it takes for you to get to the next level. You haven't done it by yourself thus far. So go ahead and get you a mentor and be consistent and mind your business.
Sorry,
Mr. J.
yeah, my bad. I was like, who's next? Yeah, so basically, you know, don't compare. What I would say is, you know, don't compare your story and your success to anyone else's in the business. You know, you're working with a lot of rock stars and everyone's at different levels of influence, different levels of awareness, different levels of income, all that stuff. So it's quite easy to compare. Just be inspired and understand that it's going to happen for you at the right time for you. That's what I would say. All right. That's over to you. Thank you.
I love what he just said. Be inspired. That's amazing. And I love what, you know, about the stories, because we need your story. Nobody wants to hear any more of my story, Jake's story, Mr. Jackie's story, Tier's story. We're looking for the next line of leaders. That's what we need, the next line of leaders. This is what I want to share with everybody. I love what each and every one of those, individuals said, but show up every single day in your life, right? And do everything everything with an intent. Because you have no idea when the moment of your quantum leap is going to come. But if you're not intentional, meaning, going back to what every single one of us said today, if you heard, all of us essentially said consistency, discipline, because we do not put our business on a pause. And you shouldn't be putting your business on a pause either, if this is the vehicle that will help you create this fortune that essentially you're seeking. Because at the end of the day, you're working your job, maybe you're utilizing that to pay your bills temporary, but remember, your business will give you the lifestyle that you desire for yourself first, right? Because you can't help your family if you don't help yourself first. Empty plates can't feed hungry people. And you can't help your parents, you can't, buy their houses, cars, whatever it is that you want to do. So be intentional every single day, focus on that day, meaning focus on today only. Don't think about the next week, don't think about, but every single day, if you're intentional, that will compound over time. That will build your belief, that will build your self-image, that will build your confidence, because we're not focused on the year. I'm focused on today. Did I get my workout done? Did I get my, diet? Did I get my calls? Did I make sure my entire team is taken care of? But if I don't pour into my plate and cup first, I won't be able to pour back to other people. So, I told my team this week, create a schedule for yourself. Maybe you're not used to be operating from a schedule, but, schedule your day. Like, do you have 30 minutes for reading? Do you have 30 minutes for walking? I love what Tigray said, like every single day, my walking is a priority. And yes, we do not like doing the things all the time, but when you have a schedule and you know that you executed a schedule, at the end of the night, you're going to go to sleep with a peaceful mind that you operated as the highest version of yourself, and you know that you're one step closer to, that quantum leap and, the goal that you have. So that's it.
Man, I absolutely love it. It's time for our picture. And
Hey, Tier, Diamond Tier,
yeah.
Blue Diamond Jackie Pippins,
Mm-hmm.
Jake, Blue Diamond Jake Parton, and Black Diamond Desi Lipova. You nailed it. You did fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
We have a
absolutely
topic for next week.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, you guys ready for the picture?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He's got the thing on as well.
I am Jake Parton.
I thought this was Men in Black. That's what I thought it was.
Oh god, that is funny.
I love you guys. God. We had so much fun today. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Definitely, everybody, start promoting this early in the week, because we're going to bring these diamonds back for round 2 of how to master the art of these conversations. We love you guys. God bless you. Have a great weekend.
Love you, ambassadors.